Guess who's jealous of Adele?
Beyonce.
You know that incident when Wendy Williams fell? In one of her gossip episodes, she starts it off with, someone's jealous of Adele. And then she goes, it's Beyonce.
Guess who's jealous of Adele?
Beyonce.
So Wendy Williams said this.
Yeah, so Wendy Williams is saying all this stuff about Beyonce, right?
First of all, Beyonce, the most disturbing thing is I can see the differentiation between your natural hair and your ponytail.
A month later, what happens? She fell. You know what's crazy? They're trying to put it on dementia. On her Wikipedia, and when you search up Wendy Williams, everywhere she has dementia, she has dementia. They're trying to discredit her from all her saying.
When it comes to spilling tea, Wendy Williams doesn't just pour, she floods. This time, her target is none other than Queen Bey herself. Wendy has a knack for saying what most wouldn't dare to whisper, and her latest claim, that Beyonce might just be worse than Jay Z, is the kind of bombshell that makes everyone sit up and grab popcorn.
You say, in your opinion, Jay Z is a bad guy. Like,
well, I know he's a bad guy.
You're alluding though to the level of like Diddy, and is Beyonce equally as bad or just complicit in letting Jay Z? Can you sort of elaborate on what your accusation even is?
Kiss the Girls is the best example that I had to describe the relationship and the camaraderie between the Jigga Man and the Diddler. Okay? These are two people that have been working in concert, collaborating and competing. These are people that have been covering each other's secrets for decades. That's why I say, to sit there and to just make Diddy the acceptable monster and not address his greatest collaborator in all of his business dealings.
Apparently, Beyonce kidnapped and blackballed Sia. What the? In 2016, she puts out a random tweet. No correlation. It's one of those ones where it's like eggs, bacon.
Oh, it's a code.
Yeah, it's code. It's code. Baby, everything your own nice cat eats. Period. Kangaroo is dead. Nowhere and purple penguins every day. My egg. What the? Take every single letter of the first word and it spells Beyonce kidnapped me.
No way!
They circled the first.
Oh my god, it really.
Beyonce yeah. What the? In one of the interviews when Beyonce was talking about Sia, look what she said.
Can we interview Sasha?
No, she's never done an interview. I don't know if she ever will, because I don't really think I'd like her interview.
No
I don't think I really would want her to be in an interview. Michael Jackson, I'll see ya. See ya, double hundred, baby oil.
It's like saying the sun is dimmer than the moon. How does that even make sense? But trust Wendy to take the conversation into uncharted waters.
Do you like being a wife? Do you like being a wife as opposed to a girlfriend?
I like definitely,
Like, and I'm just asking you this because, you know, I never married. I chose not to marry. But I always love it sometimes when guys will say, you know, that's my wife, or my wife called, or I got to get this for my wife. You know, just when you hear the word wife and you know that he's talking about you, do you like that? Do you go, yeah.
it feels great, but I can say to make sure you have your own life before you're someone else's wife.
And she's now receiving floods of hate comments under her Instagram page. And with both her and her husband Jay Z losing dozens of followers in a matter of days. I mean, look at these numbers. And this all comes after Diddy's recent arrest, which has created somewhat of a witch hunt in the music industry, with many fans and people questioning whether other major powers in the music industry were aware of Diddy's alleged crime.
Her argument isn't just petty shade. Oh no, Wendy came loaded with receipts, side eyes, and enough commentary to fuel a social media war. Is she onto something? Or is this just another classic Wendy moment meant to rile up the Bayhive? Let's break it down.
I mean, anything I say about Beyonce, everybody always tells me either I'm jealous of her or I hate her. I'm not jealous of her and I don't hate her. So, you know,
Beyonce's finally released her tour dates, and I recommend you do not waste your money. I've seen her 9 times. I've been to every tour since the I Am World Tour in 2009, and she just gets worse and worse and worse. That woman cannot sing live. She cannot dance. She's a rubbish entertainer. We're in a cost of living crisis. Stay at home, save your money. Obviously, I'm gonna try and get tickets just so to see if she's got any better, but she won't have done, so don't bother wasting your time. Make sure you send this video to all your mates so that they're not wasting their time or energy, and you can ensure that I'm the only one suffering in the ticket queue.
Let's be real, Beyonce is untouchable in the eyes of many. She's the standard, the moment, the blueprint. But Wendy, with her trademark sarcasm and laser-focused shade, doesn't care. She pointed out that Queen Bey, for all her grace and power, has some skeletons that deserve a good old airing. Take her obsessive control over her image, for instance. Sure, being a perfectionist is one thing, but Wendy described it as borderline tyranny.
You know that incident when Wendy Williams fell? Remember when I was talking about how she was talking Beyonce before?
Beyonce recently, when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled. She's either giving birth to a frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy.
Day 171. I've sprouted another finger. Counting the one from yesterday, I'm up to 11.
This is going on for months that she's been talking Beyonce. In one of her gossip episodes, starts it off with, someone's jealous of Adele. It's Beyonce.
Guess who's jealous of Adele? Beyonce.
A month later, she finally fell. You know what's crazy? The industry, they're trying to put it on dementia. On her Wikipedia, and when you search up Wendy Williams, dementia, she has dementia. They're trying to discredit her from all her sayings. It's like she really got targeted because she just kept talking Beyonce.
And you know, if you know enough about Jay Z and Beyonce and their past, then you know they've been accused of stealing more than a few times. Jay is alleged to, you know, like an upcoming rapper who, you know, will never be famous, but has a nice spit game, you know, nice with it, just, you know, let me take this, make it my own, allegedly. And Beyonce also with styles and
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay Z. The proof is there.
Apparently, Beyonce doesn't just run the world, she micromanages it. Every single photo, video, and public interaction is meticulously curated. While that's great for the fans who worship her flawlessness, Wendy thinks it's exhausting and, dare she say, manipulative.
Meanwhile, you got Lisha Fuller telling Adria English that they were harboring little people at Yellow Beezy's trap house.
I did hear about
It's
that.
a short ride from DeSoto to just past Singing Hills.
And who is Yellow Beezy connected to?
Jay Z.
There you go.
He likes driving around in them little convertible and coupe Maseratis up the colonies. What did Lamisha say the other day? I don't know why Jaguar would say that about Yellow Beezy. He's a good man. He's always doing stuff. He be giving away turkeys and stuff and whoop-de-woo. My boyfriend don't want a record deal. He just likes to rap. Yet a week ago, you were asking for people to send beats for him to help him put together his demo tape. Yeah. Like, it's insane. These people are sitting here saying all of this out in the open, and people are literally showing up, watching to either heckle, troll, or harass. And nobody is contacting the authorities.
There's a big story here in the UK saying that
She even joked that Beyonce probably approves what Blue Ivy eats for breakfast just to keep the family brand intact.
Goes to
Harry Styles!
And there's a lot of hype around the way she's moving. And like I said, it's just now when I'm looking back, especially after yesterday with Courtney, and now that it's on record that she's Courtney Burgess's attorney, I don't know, it seems like she would have mentioned that sooner.
You'd think.
And
how do you have two sources that have the same tapes, right?
Yeah, but she also said in earlier interviews that she saw the tapes. Matter of
she
fact,
was
one
shown
of
up.
the
I think
stories-
right. Someone held up the phone or through a Zoom is how she tried to justify it. But
and she said she saw it. And so I'm just curious, if Courtney had it and he never watched it, who played it for her?
She's avoided that.
Who played it for her?
Well, and that might explain why they got this sort of summons. No, it seems like all of this.
And let's not forget Beyonce's infamous silence. Wendy was quick to highlight how Queen Bey barely addresses controversies directly, letting her loyal fans, or more accurately, her army of digital warriors, do the dirty work.
Beyonce campaign was really going to, that's what people aren't understanding, is how this works. They didn't have anything to say about me or acknowledge me until I started taking money out of their pocket. And then, rather than taking me to court, they just had Spiro call. Now, Spiro is a bona fide fixer. And guess who else he represents?
Well, he represented Alec Baldwin beautifully. I have to give him credit.
Oh, no, he's a wonderful fixer.
That was an insane fix he did. But yeah, he's very, very popular.
The narratives in place. He also represents Elon Musk. And he's also now representing the Tupac Shakur family, trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Tupac. He also, allegedly, if I'm not mistaken, put together the legal team that failed Tory Lanez.
Specifically about Jay Z. And there are some clips I want to watch with you, particularly one of Rihanna that really freaked me out. This clip, guys, if you haven't seen it, which I hadn't seen it till this morning when I saw this headline, Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen
pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes, but before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pon de Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, you did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it. And the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up till the next day to come and collect the check.
Remember those times Beyonce dropped a cryptic lyric or posed with a subtle smirk instead of actually speaking up? Wendy called it out, saying, Jay Z might mess up, but at least he admits it. Beyonce, she'll just sing a vague song and call it a day. Sure, the Bayhive calls it classy. Wendy calls it dodging accountability.
She was our age, and it's just scary because that could have been any one of us. And she was an angel, and I know that now she's with God.
The documentary crew started filming Wendy Williams after her show got cut to kind of see what she was going to do next. As you see in the documentary, she's clearly not well.
Did you drink this whole thing today? Keep it there. Okay. Keep it there.
She's been diagnosed with dementia.
It's where you kind of forget what's going on, you can't recognize names or faces, you get confused by your surroundings. There's no cure for dementia, it's just something that she will live with. So aphasia as well is the other thing she's been diagnosed with. It affects your ability to like speak or write or communicate in any way. In journalism, we have this thing called informed consent, right? Like whenever we interview someone, we have to know that they're happy to be interviewed, but also even if they say they're happy to be interviewed, we have to know that they're like in their right mind to agree to that.
Yeah,
and I think this is why, this documentary is sat not so well with some people because they're kind of thinking, can she really agree to be filmed like this? Should we really be seeing this? So Wendy Williams was actually a producer on the series.
And have been in touch with Lifetime, who's made this documentary, but they haven't got back to us yet.
Well, your girl is being accused of being a diva at the Golden Globes. Well, first of all, I'm on Beyonce's side, so sit down. According to Page 6, our friends over there, hi, how you doing? Page 6. A staffer had to lead Beyonce to the bathroom with her hand in front of Beyonce to prevent people from taking pictures. And in our Hot Topics morning meeting, it said, first of all, this is not a Beyonce thing, it's probably a Jay Z thing. I said, I don't care. It's probably a both of their thing. You know, that's his wife, mother his kids. She's an international superstar of monumental proportions, bigger to me and more valuable in terms of, you know, taking pictures and stuff, than Leonardo DiCaprio, then Robert De Niro, then Meryl Streep, then Jennifer Lopez, then Jennifer Aniston, then Tom Hanks, then Eddie Murphy. None of them.
Oh, and then there's the issue of Beyonce's business empire. While her success is undeniable, Wendy threw some serious shade at how the singer manages to make everything about her Ivy Park. It's less of a clothing line and more of a shrine.
Beyonce is concerned because Blue Ivy is the same age as the woman Jane Doe. What do you make of that?
Beyonce knows very well what he did.
She knows everything. They're not spouses. They're accomplices. He's her boss, and that's his number one bottom hoe. And that's just that.
You heard the story about Kathy White, right?
Of course.
No, I know you did. I know you did because I've heard you speak on it. But Kathy White, Pimp C, what happened to him? The same thing goes on and on.
He died on Mr. Carter's birthday.
And Beyonce just did the halftime performance, and the license plate on that Cadillac was
Pimp C.
Thank you.
Sacrifice. Trophies.
Jay Z and Beyonce have a lot of bodies under their belt. She knows very well who he is. She's not. Now, this is making her public image look bad. So, yeah, she is pretty mad about the public perception of her and Jay Z, but this is not news to her. She knows very well who she married, or allegedly married.
Distract the world by accentuating a 12-year-old girl's bosoms in a dress fit for an adult, not a child. You got idiots like Cardi B running around talking about, oh, she ate that. They're all procurers, groomers. These
She's
people
just
are
next
sick.
in line. Blue Ivy's next in line.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they're handing her right to the industry, right to the same people that.
Even her philanthropic efforts, according to Wendy, sometimes feel like an afterthought compared to the constant self-promotion. Jay-Z, for all his faults, doesn't act like every move he makes is a world event, Wendy quipped. Beyonce, on the other hand, would probably drop a Netflix special about brushing her teeth.
But I want to be real with you. I want to be honest with you and tell you, everything. This is what it is. Before we were together, me and this other girl did have sex. My trust totally was lost with her. You know what I'm saying? She hated me. Like, after that, I tried everything. Like, she didn't care. Like, she just didn't trust me after that. From there, it just went downhill because, it would be fights, it would be verbal fights, physical fights as well, mutual sides, and this is the first time I get to say anything. And like I said, I still love Rihanna, but I'm just gonna be honest. We would fight each other, she would hit me, I would hit her. But it never was okay. It was always a point to when we talk about it, like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't like that. I don't like you slapping me. If I go on stage, I got a scratch on my face, and I gotta explain it like, oh, no, I fell, or like, or like, if you got a scar or whatever, or a bruise, you gotta put makeup on it. I feel like shit. Like, I'm not ever trying to put my hands on any female.
What the heck? What? Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. Like, I never thought I'd say I won a Grammy at 22 years old. Guys, like, if you don't know me, my name is Tyler, I'm from South Africa. And last year, God decided to change my whole life. So thank you so much to God. Thank you to my team, my family. I know my mother's crying somewhere in here. Thank you to the Recording Academy for this category. It's so important. And I know I'm forgetting some things, but I want to.
Her wardrobe and her makeup budget, they've spared no expense. It's almost like they're trying to make her a real life Olivia Pope.
Were you surprised to see them outside calling TMZ on their appearance at the grand jury?
I don't know why a lawyer who was interested in justice would be calling TMZ. What would be the purpose? Harvey Leviathan? He's not here to help anybody.
It's weird. He seems to be helping Diddy more than anybody else.
Well, that's his friend. I mean, he
allegedly. Sorry, I got a Jaguar. Sorry, everything said here is Jaguar's opinion. Okay, it's not
alleged.
Mine. Don't sue me.
I'll say it for you. Allegedly, because people keep forgetting that Harvey's background is he's a lawyer too. It's pretty amazing to have a lawyer who has a background in fixing, doing pop culture gossip news, and being able to get it to the public before anything relevant comes up.
But wait, Wendy wasn't done. She also touched on Beyonce's relationship with her fans, or as Wendy put it, her subjects. While most celebrities aim for relatability, Beyonce maintains this untouchable aura, like she's on a celestial plane the rest of us mortals can only dream of reaching. Wendy sarcastically noted, Jay Z might be a hustler, but at least you feel like you could run into him at a bodega. Beyonce? Please, she's probably allergic to normalcy.
When you're getting ready to go on stage and perform, does Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you. Then Sasha Fierce appears, and my posture and the way I speak and everything is different.
Oh, Sasha's coming out.
No, she's not. She doesn't do interviews. She only performs.
Beyonce did what? Beyonce's influence has stretched so far, it's having a financial impact on an entire country. Beyonce has been on her Renaissance tour across Europe. And in Sweden, she's literally boosted inflation. She performed 2 shows in Stockholm in May, and that month, the country recorded a higher than expected inflation rate of 9.7%. Government statistics show the inflation rate went up because hotel and restaurant prices had increased over the past month, including recreational services, aka concert tickets. Danske Bank's chief economist was quoted saying the tour had probably contributed between 0.2 and 0.3 percentage points to the inflation rate. He told the Financial Times that the whole thing is astonishing for a single event and it hasn't been seen before. Bills, 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 indeed.
And let's not skip over the family dynamics. Wendy suggested that Beyonce's picture-perfect family image might be just that, an image. While Jay Z's mistakes have been dragged into the spotlight, Beyonce's role in their marital drama has always been framed as the wronged saint. But Wendy wasn't buying it. She insinuated that maybe, just maybe, Beyonce isn't the flawless victim she's often painted as.
But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay Z. Jay Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
I want to give you props though, because on your channel, which I want to plug, you Jaguar Right Effect, you guys can support it. You posted last night, your first response was reposting the unedited Pierce Morgan interview, which I found very ballsy and very telling. And again, this is where it all came from, where Pierce Morgan was scared by Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney, proving they are watching and they're being litigious. I got to watch my back, Jaguar. I appreciate you getting that. Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was 17 is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
had
to
you spoken
apologize.
to my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a person. And when I talk to Jonathan now, just to hear him when he thinks of his teenage daughters, he was like, Rihanna was the same age my girls are now. I couldn't imagine putting my daughters through what we put her through. And then the next thing you know, she was removed from that first team from Pound the Replay and replaced with all new handlers and kept sheltered in Los Angeles, where she was going out to parties and partying at 15, 16, 17 years old, hanging out at the Rainbow Room, hanging out. Yeah, like it was one of my friends who found out she was 17 when everyone thought she was 21. And he was like, yo, why do y'all got me carrying this girl around? And she's, oh, it's cool, it's cool.
Behind every cheating man is a woman who stayed, Wendy quipped, leaving just enough ambiguity to stir the pot. Wendy's ultimate mic drop moment, though, was when she compared Beyoncé's calculated moves to Jay-Z's bluntness. Jay-Z is messy, sure, but at least he owns it. Beyoncé? She's messy in designer packaging. It's the kind of shade only Wendy could deliver, cutting, dramatic, and just plausible enough to make you wonder.
I'm also coming for your muscles. So, videos and muscles, I'm on your ass.
Great. That happened.
Of course, the Bayhive will be quick to dismiss Wendy's comments as nothing more than attention-seeking nonsense. But here's the kicker: Wendy doesn't care. Whether you agree with her or not, you're talking about her, and by extension, you're talking about her take on Beyoncé. It's the classic Wendy effect. Light the match, walk away, and let everyone else fan the flames. Beyoncé may run the world, but Wendy, she just might be running the conversation.